Hello, my name is Rita and I work at the York County Literacy Council, where we have free classes for adults in our community so that they can get their high school diploma. There are a number of adults in our community who are not able to get that high school diploma when they were young. We also like to help newcomers to our community, and so we provide English as a second language classes. And we also have a United States citizenship class so they can become citizens. One of the classes I'm proud of is our very basic reading class, because there are adults in York County, believe it or not, adults who didn't learn to read when they were in school for a number of reasons, and so we have a class for them to learn to read. So since our classes are free, we do things like fundraisers to make money so that we can pay our instructors and we can buy books. Just like your school needs to pay for supplies, we do too. And one of the ways that we do that is through the Buck-A-Book reading program. That's really our best fundraiser. And it's been in the schools across York County for 30 years. And we're very proud of all the students across York County who have read for so many years and done so much good. We thought it was a good year to have some good health tips, and we wanted to share that information with you. So we went to the experts. We went to UPMC for good health information, and we also asked Demo Productions to help us put together this video in a nice way so that you would be able to hear all of this information. And I want to especially thank United Healthcare for their funding to produce this video. Without their help, we would not have been able to do this for you and for the Literacy Council. So I want to tell you a little bit about Buck-A-Book before we get into the health tips. It's a reading program, so we're going to ask you to read books, and that's all up to you, however you want to do that. What will happen is your teacher will give you an envelope, and you will be able to take that envelope home, and please show it to Mom and Dad and get their approval for you to participate in Buck-A-Book. You also want to gather whatever books or materials you want to read, and you can read books, you can read chapters, you can read newsletters, you can read magazines, whatever Mom and Dad approves, that's fine, and we're happy to have you do that. Then you will ask people that you know if they will sponsor your reading. This could be a neighbor that you know, it could be relatives, it could be people maybe that work with your mom and dad, and Mom and Dad will help you make that decision of who to ask. So then you get your books together, you read your books, you go back to your sponsors, you tell them what you did, and you collect the money, you put it in the envelope, and you bring it back to school. And you please fill out all the information, because we want to make sure we get back to you, because in the spring, we will be glad to send prizes to your school. There's actually 5 levels. And so prize level number 1 is McDonald's. If you can raise $2 through your sponsors, you will receive a McDonald's Happy Meal. Prize level number 2, if you can get your sponsors to help you to raise $15, you will receive a ticket to the York Ice Arena, and you will also get the skate rental with that. And since the prizes are cumulative, you will also receive the McDonald's meal with that. If you can get sponsors to help you raise $50, you will receive 2 tickets to the York Revolution baseball game and a ticket to the York Fair. If you can raise $95 through your sponsors, you will receive a ticket to Avalanche Express, which is a lot of fun in the wintertime to go down that snowy hill, but you will also receive a ticket to Hickory Falls Mini Golf, and that's a great summertime event. So now we're at the top level, level number 5. Level number 5 is not the easiest level to reach, and we want you to know that if you can't reach that level, it's okay. What's good is if you even reach level number 1, because you're reading books, and that's good for you, but you're also helping others, and every community needs people who are willing to help each other. So even prize level number 1 is a great job. But if you can get your sponsors to help you raise $250, you will receive an invitation to be at the recognition event at our Buck-A-Book game down at the York Revolution field. And we will have you down on the field at a pre-game ceremony where you will be recognized by all the fans at what a great job you have done. And you receive 2 tickets to Hershey Park. Now I know that's a really special prize, so there's probably a little bit of noise in your classroom, but you want to hear this also. At whatever level you enter in the Buck-A-Book program, your name will be put into a drawing, and we're going to give away 2 BMX bikes next spring. And we'll do that at the Revolution game. And the first time you hear about it is when we announce it from the field at the Revolution game. And so that's a little bit about Buck-a-Book. So when your teacher gives you the envelope, remember you're going to read books, you're going to win prizes, and you're going to help others. So now let's hear a little bit more about those health tips.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica and I am a dietitian, meaning I help people with their nutrition and healthy eating habits. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition and healthy eating and how you can incorporate that into your life. To start off with, we're going to talk about your plate. So ideally, we want half our plate to be fruits and vegetables, a quarter of our plate to be our starches and grains, and a quarter of our plate to be our protein foods. First, let's talk about your fruit. We want just about a quarter of your plate to be your fruit. That's going to include your apples, oranges, bananas, melons, berries. They are all great for you. It's going to have lots of vitamin C to help keep you healthy, as well as potassium to help keep your heart pumping. It also has lots of good fiber in it to help keep us full and help us go to the bathroom. So we'd like to have that fruit. So a serving of fruit is going to be about half a cup of cut up fruit, or the size of a small apple is also a good serving size. If we can aim for about 2 to 4 servings of fruit a day, that would be wonderful. The next thing is going to be our vegetables. Vegetables are going to be packed with lots of different vitamins and minerals. Try to get the color of the rainbow. So your carrots, asparagus, cauliflower, broccoli, lettuce, tomato, green beans, cucumber, zucchini, they're all wonderful. A serving counts as half a cup of cooked vegetables or 1 cup of raw vegetables is perfectly fine. If we can aim for 2 to 4 servings of vegetables a day, that would be great. So protein is going to be the other quarter of your plate. So if you can see here, we have about a quarter of our plate of protein. Protein is going to count as your chicken, turkey, beef, fish, pork, cheese, eggs. They help to keep our muscles strong. They help to give us energy throughout the day. So we want to be eating that protein as well. The next quarter of our plate, we want to be our grains, preferably whole grains. That's going to be your brown rice, whole wheat pasta, whole wheat bread. Those whole grains are very important. They give us some B vitamins, they give us some good energy, and they also give us some protein. And last but not least, we have our dairy. We definitely want to be trying to get dairy in, as this is going to give us some calcium. Calcium is really good for our bones. It helps our bones stay strong and keep growing. So that's going to be your milk and yogurt, preferably low-fat milk or low-fat yogurt. And aiming for 2 to 3 servings a day of your dairy would be perfectly fine. In addition, we also want to pay attention to our sugar-sweetened beverages. Ideally, the best choice for you is going to be water. However, I know that some of you might be drinking your juices, sodas, teas. We want to try to limit the amount of added sugars in our drinks. So the reason that we want to try to limit our sugar intake is because number one, it can damage our teeth. We can end up getting more cavities, which is no fun. Nobody wants to do that. So we want to limit our sugar intake for that. The other reason is sugar does not add any nutritional benefit to our bodies. We don't need to have those added sugars. It doesn't help us function throughout the day. So the more we can limit sugar, the better. Thank you so much, everyone. Try to eat all the colors of the rainbow and get a variety of foods on your plate.
Hi, my name is Heidi Bell. I am the infection preventionist here at UPMC Memorial Hospital. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about ways that you can keep yourself and your friends healthy by preventing infection. Infection is when someone gets sick from something that is caused by a germ. Germs get into their bodies and make them sick. The good news is that we have great doctors, we have great hospitals, we can treat infections. But the bad news for infections is that you can share those germs with others. Germs are these little guys right here. These, of course, are not real germs. These are giant germs, and they are made so that we can see them and they look kind of cute. This guy here is the common cold. I think he's probably a rhinovirus, or he might even be a coronavirus, but he is obviously much, much bigger than he is in real life. In real life, he is teeny, 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 tiny. In fact, about 500 million of these guys will fit on the end of a pin. So the one thing that we really don't want to share is our germs. So if we have an infection and we give it to someone else, that's called a chain of infection. This can happen in many, many, many ways, but one of the most important things that we can do to stop that chain of infection is to clean our hands. Our hands are super important, and all of those things that we use them for can pick up germs from surfaces, can pick up germs from our faces. Sometimes we sneeze into our hands and then we have germs on our hands. So all of those things are reasons why we need to make sure that our hands are as clean as possible so that we don't share our germs with other people. The first thing that we can do is we can wash our hands with soap and water. Washing our hands with soap and water is super, super easy to do. We get our hands wet, we get some soap. Always, always make sure you get in between your fingers, you get the behind your hands, you get around all of it, under your fingernails, rub them against your hands like this, and don't forget these guys. These guys always get left out when we wash our hands. We wash our hands and we forget our thumbs. Make sure we get our thumbs nice and clean, and then we have nice, nice clean hands. We rinse them, we get a paper towel, we dry our hands, make sure they're nice and dry, and then you turn off that water with the paper towel because we do not want to touch that dirty, dirty faucet with our super clean hands. The other way that we can clean our hands is we can use hand sanitizer. And that is a great thing to do because we don't need a sink, we don't need anything, and as long as your hands are not visibly dirty, like you can see dirt on them, hand sanitizer does a really, really good job. So you want to get hand sanitizer, rub your hands together just like you did when you were washing your hands until that hand sanitizer is all dry. It works its magic while it's drying on your hands. There are very, very important times to clean our hands. Number one, always, always, we should clean our hands after we use the bathroom because we can pick up lots and lots of germs in the bathroom and we don't want to carry those out to the rest of our day. The other times that we should clean our hands is always, always before we eat and also after we eat. Because when we're eating, we are touching our faces, we're bringing our hands to our faces, and they can pick up our germs. And then if we don't wash our hands after we eat, we can spread those germs to our friends. If our nose is runny, we want to use a tissue. We want to use that tissue, we want to wipe our nose, and then we want to throw that tissue away and wash our hands. If we have to sneeze, we don't want to sneeze into our hands. That gets our hands all germy. You want to try and sneeze into your elbow rather than sneezing into your hands because that keeps those germs away from your hands. If you are coughing, same thing. Don't cough into your hands because that gets germs on our hands. We want to cough into our elbow so that we don't share our germs with others. That is pretty much all I have for you guys. I really, really appreciate your attention and I hope that we can work together to keep ourselves safe and to keep our friends safe. Have a great day, do a great job cleaning those hands and being safe.
Hello, my name is Brady and I'm an exercise physiologist, athletic trainer, and coach for UPMC Hanover. Today we're going to talk about the importance of physical activity. And to do that, let's start with a little bit of a walk. The first thing we want to talk about is what is physical activity? Physical activity is anything you do that you have to increase your energy level to complete that task. So outside of sitting, sleeping, in front of a computer would be considered physical activity. Along with that physical activity is regular exercise. The great thing about physical activity, it's anything. And all we want you to do is to be as active as you possibly can every day, all day. The American College of Sports Medicine and the Center for Disease Control recommends that every child and adolescent between the age of 6 and 17 get at least 60 minutes of moderate or vigorous activity every day. That doesn't mean you have to go out and do 60 minutes in the beginning of the day, 60 minutes at the end of the day. It's 60 minutes all day. So you can do 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at lunchtime, 20 minutes at the end of the day, and get your 60 minutes. And with those 60 minutes, you're going to get a tremendous amount of health benefits, from better blood pressure control, better weight control, healthier bones, healthier muscles. Your performance in school will be better. You'll just be a happier and more well person. Unfortunately, not everybody's meeting those recommendations. The Center for Disease Control and the American College of Sports Medicine recently estimated that less than 50% of children are meeting those 60 minutes and less than 10% of adults are meeting those guidelines as well. So why? Why aren't we meeting those guidelines when we know how important it is to be physically active? Are you bored with it? Whatever it is, we need to find something that you really like to do. The key to long-term physical activity success is finding something you really enjoy doing. So make it fun. Make it something that you can do with your family. Make it something you can do with your friends, and you'll stick to it long term. It is critical that you become the role model in your family, become the role model at your school, become the role model in your community, to be as active as you possibly can. So go out and play today.
So those are some great health tips, and we hope you take them and follow them, because we want you to stay strong and healthy for a long time. We want you to live to a ripe old age. But in addition to that, we want to thank you for participating in Buck-a-Book and for listening to our video. And the most important thing is that you read. Reading is so good for you. It will help you learn so many different things. And always remember to be helpful to other people. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoy Buck-a-Book this year.